Greetings and salutations to you, people of the interwebs, and welcome to this week's edition of Transformer of the Week. Well, I'm going to be looking at this guy. This is Vanstine's Koot. Koot, ye olde Koot. It's their take on Koot, the character that was first introduced in that Transformers movie called Transformers the Movie. And he's a futuristic space pickup truck thing. That's his flatbed for picking things up in. I don't know how they'd stay in. Force fields, presumably. Looks more like a roller skate future slipper thing. If you can imagine it. Such a thing. And many people can. I think many people will liken him to a roller skating slipper, surprisingly. More people think he looks like a slipper than he does look like a pickup truck. But that's beside the point. They've done a very good representation of how it looks in the movie and subsequent media after that appearances. Nice big wheels, chunky wheels at the back here that have a bit of suspension. So you could do bit of that, cronking, trying to get hip with the kids as he would be, as he is. Some nice details in here and the bed in general. This cream bit at the front, that's very panelly. Lots of panel lines here. Quite a lot of these panel lines you can excuse as being part of the futuristic feel to it. But that bit there at the front feels particularly just... But he's got to do a lot of robotic gymnastics with his parts to actually, make him into a robot man, which we'll come into later. And so he has got that folding metal parts. So it's needed, unfortunately. But yeah, all in all, really fun. There's not that much paint, there's a bit of silver here. It would have been nice if these tail lights would have been, these tail lights here would have been painted, maybe something up here at the front. It does come with some alternative parts, so you could have this more opaque, shiny, creamy windshield if you wanted, but I quite like the more translucent one, so you can see some of the more of the bits of tech details underneath it. I quite like that. That's my preference. I'm not going to swap them out. Most other people, pictures, videos, I'll show you probably with this one because it's more cartoon accurate. Nice. So he's got all these little things that a Koot does. He also comes with accessories, so he comes with this gun, and that can peg in to that in his back, and so the gun can go up and down and around and shooty roundy things. And he also comes with his Target Master recoil. Recoil, and he's a lot of fun. So he's got a head swivel. He's got some nice ball joint at the shoulder socket and a hinge there, so it gives him a lot of movement here. Double jointed elbow with a ball socket at the top of it and a hinge at the bottom. If you lift his guns up slightly, you can get use of a waist swivel. It's got a ball joint at the leg, a hinge and a ball hinge at the knee, and a ball joint at the foot. So he can crack out some really cool poses. He's just a really cool guy. Now, this is quite weird because we'll talk about Titans Return very briefly. I think Titans Return have spoiled us somehow with the amount of interaction that these guys can have with vehicle modes, because he's not really got anything to do, and because he's got these guns on his back, even though he can get into a decent sitting pose, the barrels stop that, so he can't man the gun here. It'd be nice if he would have had something that he could peg his feet in so he could stand up even, or just have a nice bit of thing where he could ride Koot, as it were. And strangely enough, this is just weird, I did notice he's got these holes, little round holes on the bottom of his feet that do actually match the size of the hole, the pegs on the Titans Return figures. Okay, so he does that. He can interact with Titans Return figures if you really want him to. I don't understand why. So we flip this all the way around like so. We move his arms up here and round, up here and round. We move these legs all the way up and peg them together like so. And there is recoil in his gun mode. And I quite like that. It's so reminiscent of the original ones, but it's just a really cool figure. You can see his little silly head in there. It is what it is. And you can swap that out. And now he can be the gun on the back, so he can interact that way. Now this is a transformer, so it does transform if you've got the the skills to do this. On an unrelated note, big shout out to Chris, Six Shot Changer Reviews, and Rodimus Minor. Right, let's go. I've set myself up for a fall now, haven't I? I'm never going to transform this right. The most difficult thing I've found with this is, because everything pegs in so well, is just finding that point of unpegging things. Finding that right little joint that you can start to just then move everything out into place. So it's about just getting into this figure. So we'll move out these panels first. Not that it helps. And it's kind of, we need to get this out and that out. There you go. So now we can make a start. So if we move this up, flip that round. Let's ignore that for a while. Should we do the legs first? Let's do the legs first, shall we? So we move that knee joint so that's straight like so. Get this piece. It's die cast, by the way, if you're into that kind of thing. Shift that round. Shift that down. Flip out that toe. Now we want to get this. Assemble it. Flick all that into place. And get this panel. Close off the wheel. That is a foot. So same again. Straighten this out. Get this die cast part, move that round, squodge it so it goes in the back. Flip out that toe. Get all this into place there, like so. Flip that round. Done. 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 Now then, back here. What you want to do is you want to find the point here. Move this chest piece out. Push that together. Get back to that later. Move these panels out. Move his arms out. I think we could move his arms up now. Now this is one of the... Let's move the panels first. Now, full disclosure on this one. Full disclosure. Full disclosure. Like, this isn't legal. These wheel things. These here are a pain about clearance. Now, on the T-22 2005 forums. I've written it down here. Page 114 of the Koot discussion boards. Yeah, there's that many pages. There's a whole lot more pages to go through. So it's page 114. A user by the name of Orion2703 has given a fix. Now, there was an excess amount of plastic on these wheels. I can't really see at the moment on this camera. There's an excess amount about, but you can't really see it because I've shaved it off as well. So I've got to shave that off, which is like, oh my god, I've got to take a knife to this third party X amount of money toy straight out of the box, just so it'll actually transform better. But if you take that off, you can then move these joints, which you can't out of the box. You can't move these bits at all, so you can move these so they'll give you the right amount of clearance that you need for when transforming this. So it looks like probably in the design phase that this was originally how it was going to go, but it never happened. So we want to move these side panels now back down and move these hip things back around here, back around here. Now this assembly pushes down, and this is the scariest part for me because it never feels like it's right, but it does. That all then folds up round there, meaning this can now come back. If we then get his head up, get these side bits up, voila, we can then fold this bit of plastic down and fold this. Oh, we need to do this before so we fold that bit back there, get that bit back there, and then we're good to go to move this up to the front. Move all this together. And it's a case of just straightening everything out. And looky what we got here. Oh, his head's not plugged in properly. Come on. Oof. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I really love the look of this thing. It's just got this absolutely glorious head sculpt that it's just, don't know how well you can make that out, but it's like that. It's just straight out of the movie, man. That is just cartoon perfect. He's got a big backpack. He has got a big backpack. Because that, I mean, primarily to me, it's these bits here. If you weren't up for transforming this guy and you wanted to just keep him in robot modes, I'd knock the pins out of these bits here. I'd take this bit off here, knock the pin out of that bit there, and that, just that there, is the perfect size for a Koot backpack. I wouldn't want him to have a backpack any smaller than that. So it's just really just this excess about no larger than a centimetre that just goes round, and these bits here, that's what throws it off. But other than that, it is, because I think he should have a bit of a hunch, you know, because he's an old man. Guys, this is my first Fans Toys product, and I've always been a bit wary of the cult of Fans Toys. I mean, the fan base can be a bit dogmatic at times, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll give it a go, I'll give it a try. But how good this feels in hand is second to none. Really, I'm not, for a Transformers figure, I don't think I've felt in hand something that just feel the right weight and feel to it, and just, it's got, you know, holding like that will make it flop. But it's not too stiff and it's not too loose. So if you posed it like that, it wouldn't. So he's got some nice clickety ratchets in his hips here. So you can go out and you can lift up these skirts. You can try and get it that far and it has a bit of a loop, but if you do, just push it, just that extra click. You can hold up there, you can do some booting. Doesn't go back that far, but you know, what action figures do go that far. I think we're used to it with Transformers, but general action figures don't often have that high, you know, a back kick than some of the Transformers that can do that full splits. But most figures, they do have a bit of the butt plays a bit of a part, and they never really have. Oh, gorgeous. So yeah, nice double jointed knee, elbow joints, toe joint. So his legs are fine. Thigh swivel. He's got a joint here in his shoulder. Then turn, bicep swivel, double jointed knee, elbow. It's an elbow. Wrist swivel, and then he can just move his hands. He doesn't have individual fingers, which I'm not that big a fan of individual fingers. I think they're always a bit too fiddly, so I'm fine with that. Maybe some replacement hands instead would have been a way to go at this kind of level. But yeah, his head, ball joints, doesn't have the greatest range of motion, but it's got enough. And just, again, just phenomenal face sculpt. Absolutely phenomenal. So he's got the masterpiece-ish style thing of a slot in his palm to fit his guns. He can hold his guns fairly well. This one's a bit hankier, bit hankier, that's not even a word. A bit more fussy than the other one, but yeah, it can hold. Oh, that looks a bit bent, doesn't it? But yeah, it can hold it. Turbo Rabbin, young punk, I'll straighten you out yet. Yeah, absolutely. Top of the range. Top of the range. He does have a spur face that I'm not even trying to put in yet. Should we try it now? So let's just... move this bit out of the way so we can get more access to his face. So he's supposed to just be able to pull it off, and I have tried, but it can wobble. But I'm a bit scary ever since I pulled the face off Gigapowers 7, is it? I pulled the face off him when I thought he had an interchangeable face, but he didn't. So that pops off, and he's got eyes there. I'm not sure if these are the same eye or I need to replace them with the other eyes. 1 second. It's familiar noise in my videos of me dropping random bits of plastic on the floor. Yeah, Gigapowers 7 I dropped. I thought he had interchangeable faces. He didn't, and I ripped off his face. So I don't want to repeat that. So I'm always a bit wary. So he's got that face like that, and then he has the tiniest things. One of these cigars, so he can have his more IDW kind of cigar chomping war veteran. So yeah, that's fair enough, isn't it? That's nice enough. and it's fallen out. So I don't know if I trust that. But besides which, I've got the iGear head on my Generations cup, and that's for me is my IDW cup. I don't really need another one, so I think I will. It's like he's been punched and he's got a tooth missing, which is quite cool. So I think I'll be keeping the stock face on this guy. But all in all, guys, yeah, he does have a bit of a waist swivel. He does start plugging his sides, but you know, it's there. It is there. So yeah, all in all, a phenomenal figure. Phenomenal, just how it feels in hand, just the weight of it, the production of it, the face sculpts, just to get it to look like that movie design, which they had no care for showing that this was a transform. They just designed a robot and said, you know, this is what it transforms into. We don't care if it can be made into a transformer or not. We're just going to design it this way. And for them to make this happen, and just to have that much of a backpack, I'm fine with that. I am absolutely fine with that, because it is... This is some next level stuff, man. And that's why it's this week's Transformer of the Week. Join me next week when there'll be more Transformers and more weeks. Who knows, by then we might have the power of the primes. But until then, why don't you be excellent to each other? Party on, dudes. Remember to do all the like, commenting and subscribing or whatever else you want to do to me or to anyone who even comments below. Check out their channel, like and comment and subscribe. Let's spread the good word. It's coming up to the season to be jolly, is it not? Till then, give me a bump, eh? Fisto! Fisto! Ha ha ha!